Most of you will be achieving this look after hiring an interior designer. You'll be purchasing a mattress, you'll put a bed sheet over it and use the room. But the soul of the room is missing. The fun character. It doesn't have life. And how to put a life to this room, that is all we are going to talk about in this video. We'll be talking about simple tricks, how we achieve it in a very simple manner, without spending much. But each and every room could achieve its best form. So let's talk about it.
These are designed by urban planners. Buildings are designed by architects. And interiors are designed by interior designers. And the styling is done by interior stylists. All the mirrors, you're seeing the light fixtures, those glasses, the flowers. People, the urbanist, the architect, or the interior designer and the interior stylist. These are not the stuff they are doing randomly, based upon some rules. They are actually composing precisely and perfectly so that they can impart an emotion to you. Out of all of these people, interior stylist is the only profession where you will have the feeling felt through their work. And that changes the perspective. By the way, I'm Prashant and I am interior designer and architect. I have been designing and developing the buildings and interiors of the spaces, maybe restaurants, houses, apartments, shops, everything for last 17 years. And I'm very happy to announce that we are going to come out with some more innovative, really interesting videos. So please don't miss all those. Please do subscribe to Ogling Inches. We'll be seeing you in next video with the more interesting, more comforting and more experimental topic for a video. Learning styling could be very easy to understand if you look at the example. Here I have everything messed up. It's not planned. I have different elements, but it's not planned as per my taste. It doesn't have any language. Keeping this example, what we can do is, this is vertical. This is giving me a vertical dimension. Books are giving me horizontal dimension, and these are randomly placed. So I'll start with the biggest book. I'll keep a second book over it, and the third book to achieve that perfect dimension to it. To add a quirkiness, I'll give an angle from your viewing angle, and I'll add another element so that it balances the overall scheme with the plant. But it doesn't look good, so I'll add another element to it. And it gives me a really planned, decorated styling for the tabletop, for example. This is one of the simplest example. And you can achieve a good styling for your total home or your own space. Look at the tips for achieving these styles. There are only 3 tips. There are simple 3 tips which you can use to complete your styling of the home. First is using rule of 3. Always go for 3 elements, odd number, rather than going for even number. Because odd number looks nicer than even number. So you can definitely plan something with odd numbers, and it will make space or the countertops more interesting with the vertical dimension and the horizontal dimensions. Different colors, different forms will make it interesting. Second is using and achieving your styling through each element stage by stage. Go for consoles, then the tabletop, then the side table, then the bed, floor, ceiling. You can go stage by stage, and that will complete your whole styling of the room. Third, it could be play with the heights, play with the textures and the form, and that completes the total styling of your whole room. Only these 3 rules will be helpful for you to achieve that perfect look, which most of the famous designers are applying in their homes, applying in their practice. There are certain principles through which you can achieve the styling for your home. The simplest of principles are only 5. First is layering, where you can layer your room with variety of textures, maybe colors, different elements, which will give a different feel to the overall ambience. Second, it could be achieved through forms, maybe tall objects, flat objects, objects which might look like some textures, for example, cactus, plants, that will add emotions to the space. Third, you can go for frames or elements which evoke emotions to your space. For example, photographs, which you collect over time through your travels, souvenirs. So all these elements which create memories, and it will remind your element or your memories to whenever you look at the walls. Fourth, it's all about the flow. Maybe you might have some light fixtures, some frills hanging over the ceiling, which will add flow. Maybe some carpet or rug running over the floor to add the flow element. So it will give a visual appeal. It adds a visual appeal and just give a linearity to the overall space. And the fifth and the most important is editing. So by editing, I mean you can compile spaces, you can experiment with different types of elements and finish it with the perfect touch of flowers maybe. Whatever makes it feel good. You can think over different senses, maybe 5 senses. You are talking about visuals, you might have some fragrance, which will add a different dimension to the space. Now, how do we interior stylists achieve this? There are a simple method which we plan for any space, any apartment which we design. We start with the design brief. What the apartment taste look like, whether it's luxury, whether it's Scandinavian, it's naval design, or it's kind of maybe out of world minimalism. We define the style of the house. Next, we curate different elements. As we discussed, form, textures, visual linearity through rugs, maybe curtains, throws. So we curate everything, vases. We curate and we fill the space with all these curated elements in such a manner that it looks most impressive. When I'm talking about experimenting, start small. Maybe for example, one place. You develop and stylize that space, that element, for example, console, the top of the console. You stylize that and then you move to the next element. So you stylize each and every element of the room and you finish the rooms accordingly. And that gives you the best looking room. Even if you look at the history, there used to be Mughal era where you had decorated styles of silk curtains, maybe low height seating, rugs, maybe of bamboo, silk, very impressive hookah bars, hookah elements with brass, metals, and lots of colors, which imparts a different feel to the space. Red, blue, different occasions used to have different feel to it. And that's where the expertise of styling comes from the history as well. Second example could be the British era, where the styling was of cane furniture, really high ceilings, those huge chandeliers of glass from Belgium, giving you a feel of perfect grandeur. That is a different style which you can achieve. And all of these have different language to it, associated language to it, which helps you to develop your space and to understand how people were achieving styling of any space. Moving on, there are certain tips and tricks through which you can finalize, you can achieve that perfect aesthetic of your own room decoration. It's all about achieving that final nail in the coffin so that you can get the best looking house which you wish to live in. I'll be seeing you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.